Picture this. You're in a heated argument. Everyone around you is losing their cool, voices rising, emotions flaring. But there's one person who remains perfectly still, completely unmoved by the chaos. They don't raise their voice. They don't defend themselves. They simply observe. And somehow, mysteriously, they're the one person everyone keeps glancing at, the one person whose opinion suddenly matters most. Have you ever wondered why the calmest person in the room often holds the most power? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked forms of power. In human psychology, the art of nonchalance. Not the fake kind of indifference that masks insecurity, but the masterful composure that comes from true strategic control. Before we begin this journey together, I want you to know that what you're about to learn isn't just another self-help technique. This is ancient wisdom backed by psychological research, proven through centuries of power dynamics and more relevant today than ever before. So I'm going to show you exactly how mastering strategic composure can transform every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your career, from your internal peace to your external influence. Let's start with a truth that might surprise you. The most powerful response is often no response at all. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, silence becomes a superpower. But not just any silence. Strategic silence. The kind of silence that speaks volumes. Think about the last time you felt truly triggered by someone or something. Maybe it was a passive-aggressive comment from a coworker or a subtle dig from a family member. What did you do? If you're like most people, you probably reacted immediately. You felt that surge of emotion, that burning need to respond, to defend, to prove something. But here's what most people don't realize. Every time you react immediately, you hand over your power to whatever or whoever triggered you, the true masters of influence. Al, understand something profound. Emotional reactions are like currency. The more freely you spend them, the less valuable they become. This is where the art of nonchalance comes in, not as a mask to hide behind, but as a tool to wield with precision. Let me tell you about Marcus, a CEO I once worked with. During a critical board meeting, a senior executive launched into a personal attack against his leadership. The room tensed. Everyone waited for Marcus's response, but Marcus did something extraordinary. He simply sat there, completely still, maintaining eye contact with his attacker, saying absolutely nothing. The silence stretched for what felt like minutes, and in that silence, something remarkable happened. The aggressive executive began to falter, to backtrack, to lose confidence. Without saying a word, Marcus had completely shifted the power dynamic in the room. This brings us to our first crucial understanding. True nonchalance isn't about not caring. It's about caring so deeply about your power and presence that you refuse to let others dictate your emotional state. It's about understanding that in the game of power dynamics, he who reacts first often loses. But let's be clear about something. This isn't about becoming an emotional robot. Far from it. The goal isn't to stop feeling, it's to master the art of strategic expression. Think of your emotions like a master painter's colors. The amateur throws every color on the canvas at once. The master chooses precisely when and where to apply each stroke. Now, let's dive into the psychology behind this power. When you maintain composure in the face of chaos, you create what psychologists call a pattern interrupt. Human beings are programmed to expect certain responses. When you deny them that expected response, you create cognitive dissonance. This dissonance does something fascinating to the human mind. It creates intrigue, respect, and often a subtle form of anxiety in others. Consider this. Have you ever noticed how the most desperate person in a relationship usually holds the least power? This isn't coincidence. It's a direct demonstration of what I call the law of inverse reaction. The more you chase, the more others tend to pull away. The more you react, the less impact each reaction has. But when you master strategic composure, you create a gravitational pull. People become curious about what you're thinking. They begin to seek your approval, your opinion, your attention. Let's talk about practical application. The first step in mastering strategic composure is understanding the difference between reaction and response. A reaction is immediate, emotional, and often regrettable. A response is calculated, purposeful, and powerful. The key lies in creating what I call the power pause, that crucial space between stimulus and response where true mastery lives. Here's how to develop your power pause. The next time you feel triggered, imagine there's a glass wall between you and the situation. You can see everything clearly, but nothing can actually touch you without your permission. Take 3 slow breaths. Feel the urge to react, but don't act on it. Just observe it. This simple practice begins to rewire your neural pathways, strengthening your ability to maintain composure under pressure. But there's more to strategic nonchalance than just staying calm. It's also about understanding the power of selective engagement. Think of your attention like a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on becomes illuminated, becomes important. By carefully choosing what you react to, you literally shape reality around you. You teach others what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this perfectly. Years ago, I was giving a presentation to a hostile audience. One participant was particularly aggressive, constantly interrupting with skeptical comments. Instead of defending myself or engaging with each interruption, I maintained complete composure, acknowledging his presence with nothing more than a slight nod before continuing my points. By the end of the presentation, something fascinating had happened. The same person who had been trying to derail me was now asking thoughtful questions, even defending my points to others. This brings us to another crucial aspect of strategic composure, the power of mystery. Human beings are naturally curious creatures. We're drawn to what we can't immediately understand or control. When you master nonchalance, you become something of a puzzle to others. They can't easily predict your reactions, can't manipulate your emotions, can't force you into their drama. This uncertainty creates a form of soft power that's far more effective than any aggressive display of force. Think about the most powerful people you know. Chances are they share this quality, a certain inscrutability, a calm center that seems unshakable. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Isn't this all just manipulation? Isn't it fake? Here's the truth. Strategic composure isn't about deceiving others. It's about mastering yourself. It's about choosing your moments of engagement with surgical precision rather than spraying your emotional energy around like a fire hose. Consider this paradox. The more you master strategic nonchalance, the more genuine your expressions of emotion become. Because when you do choose to show emotion, to engage, to react, it carries real weight. It means something. You become like a master musician who knows the power of silence between notes. Let's talk about practical implementation. Start with what I call the 3-second rule. Before responding to any triggering situation, count to 3 in your head. This tiny pause creates space for strategic thinking. Next, practice the minimal, effective response. Ask yourself, what's the least amount of energy I need to expend to achieve my desired outcome? Remember Marcus, our CEO from earlier? His power didn't come from his position, it came from his mastery of these principles. He understood that in a world of constant noise, calculated silence becomes a form of power. In a world of reactive behavior, strategic composure becomes a competitive advantage. As we near the end of our exploration, let's address the most common objection to this approach. Won't people think I'm cold or unfeeling? The fascinating truth is quite the opposite. When you master strategic composure, people often find you more approachable, more trustworthy, more authentic. Because true power doesn't need to announce itself constantly. True confidence doesn't need constant validation. Think about the implications of this in your own life. Imagine maintaining perfect composure during your next challenging conversation. Imagine being the calm center of your next crisis. Imagine holding on to your power even when everyone around you is losing theirs. The art of nonchalance isn't just about personal power. It's about creating a space of clarity in a chaotic world. It's about being the eye of the storm rather than getting caught in the winds. It's about choosing your moments of engagement with precision and purpose. So here's your challenge. For the next week, practice strategic composure in one specific area of your life. Maybe it's with a difficult coworker, a family situation, or even just your reaction to social media. Notice what happens when you maintain your composure while others lose theirs. Notice how your power grows with each moment of strategic silence. Remember, the most powerful person in the room isn't the one making the most noise. It's the one who knows exactly when to make noise and when to remain perfectly, strategically calm. If you found value in this exploration of strategic composure, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of deep thinkers and strategic minds. Leave a comment below sharing your own experiences with the power of nonchalance. I read and respond to every thoughtful comment. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into the psychology of power and influence, check out my full course on strategic composure. The link is in the description below. Until next time, maintain your power, choose your moments, and master the art of strategic nonchalance.